As somebody who's invested in AI, building software, using all the tools like Lovable, Cursor, Claude, all those things, I want to tell you the raw truth of why you should not be building an AI startup right now. Sure, if you are passionate about it, you want to learn, or maybe even you want to build something of your own, just like myself, just like a lot of other people, I'm going to show you a better way to go about it, about still having the experience or having the opportunity to learn and build while still being able to play it safe and smart. Not only just safe, but also smart. So the problem here is that a lot of people are building AI. If you go onto X, go to the community called Build in Public, you will see hundreds and thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people building AI apps. Now, they don't necessarily have an advantage over you. They're not necessarily better than you. They're almost doing it the wrong way, in my opinion. And I've only learned it by doing it the wrong way, okay? And I'm gonna explain it to you later. But the point is that you'll see so many people who are already doing and building AI things. So the number of tools that we're gonna have is going to be enormous in the future, in the near future, and we already have those tools being built already. More than we need, worse, and half-baked products, okay? So if you just quit your job to become one of them, then there's not really a point and there's no distinction. Sure, maybe you have your industry knowledge, maybe you know what the problem is, what the tool you want to build is, but the truth is most software companies fail, and the likelihood of you failing is also very high because you haven't ran anything or built anything like that. So the reality, this is kind of what reality is going to look like, okay? You're going to build a tool, well, you're going to quit your job first, or not even have a job to begin with. And if that's the case, that's even worse. You're going to be first, you're going to be so excited to build the thing that you really want to build, okay? That's going to be your first 2 weeks. Now, in the second week, things are going to start to get a bit challenging, okay? You're going to face your first few challenges, you're going to overcome those, and then you're going to be so excited to keep on building, okay? You're going to be prompting these tools all day long. Well, if you start with Lovable, tool like Lovable, you're going to be prompting it. You're going to have to be very careful about the credits because you don't want to message it too much. So you're going to want to have to go back and forth with ChatGPT to write the perfect prompt so that Lovable can do the perfect job with least amount of credits used as possible, right? So all that is just you will get really good at it. You will get really good at prompting using prompts from ChatGPT, sending it back to Lovable, but that isn't really necessarily going to give you the product. And then you're going to realize in the week 3 or 4 or 5, you're going to realize that Lovable isn't what you want to be using, okay? This is the continuum that you're going to go through, by the way, and this is what I had to go through, what a lot of people had to go through, and then you're going to start looking for other tools, okay? So then you're going to go to Replit maybe, then you're going to maybe go to Cursor, but then because you're a complete beginner, you don't know how to even run a preview, right? Because Cursor is like an IDE, so basically, and I sound fancy now because I obviously have done it for 6 months, and I want to save you all the time and without you having to go through the whole pain of figuring everything out. So Cursor's IDE, you're going to tell it to run preview every time first you're just not going to get it because Lovable and other tools, they show you the preview right there. So they show you the changes every time you make a change right there. But with Cursor, you have to run the preview each time and things like that. And then you're going to discover Claude Code, and that's like a 3-4 month process. Or you can just literally listen to this and just make your way to Cursor or Claude Code. But some things do have to be learned from experience. So I'll leave you with that. And then you're gonna have to go get a database, you're gonna go to Supabase maybe, and then need a way for your front end to talk to your back end. So there's gonna be that automation that's going to need to build, that bridge that you're going to have to build. So all that learning curve is about 4 months. And that's only if you're working from like literally from the morning till the night. It's like 12-hour days, 10 or 12-hour days. And that's what I had to do. And that's what I've done basically for the past 6 months. But that's if you are just starting out. That is, if you're a complete beginner, this is your journey. This is what your journey is going to look like. Now, the reason why I say that it's not worth it is because most of the times when we are just starting to have an idea, we have this amazing idea of how it's going to solve the past problems, or even an idea that doesn't exist yet, and we're like, okay, I'm going to build this, and I'm going to be the first one to build this, and you're like, you listen to the YouTube videos where quit your job, do that thing. I almost advise against it because of a few reasons. And reason number one is that when you do have a job, you are better off to find problems inside your current job. So if you do want to have, multiple, like if you do want to become more like self-employed or entrepreneur, and you want to quit your job, the best way to do it, in my opinion, having done it multiple times, is that find a problem with the job that you have without quitting it for now. Okay, once you have a problem, you still keep your job. You build something on the side to solve that problem, so that you are now an insider, so that you can apply your solution to the problem that you're trying to solve inside your job, and you're not trying to sell something to your boss, right? Because you are part of his company. You are you already have that authority. You already have that connection with your employer, so that when you bring a solution to that problem that you've been facing, one, your employer's going to be proud of you, might even give you a raise. So that's one way to make money with your solution. Two, your employer appreciates that kind of initiative because no other employee is doing it, right? So the likelihood of your employer saying no to that initiative is very, very low. So, and that's not the same when you're on your own. When you are an entrepreneur, you're reaching out to a lot of employers, prospects, your potential buyers. Most of them are going to say no. Okay, so if you have a problem in your industry, keep the job, keep that connection. Then on top of that, build the product, the solution that you want to see your company using because they need it. Keep your job so that you can have your first customer, and that's gold. I cannot emphasize enough how important first few customers is, and your employer might even, and honestly, probably already knows some other people who are in the same industry and will recommend your product if it's good. If it's not good, I'll tell you another thing, he will give you feedback, and that's gold as well, okay? Because that's rare. Because mostly customers, if you have a customer, they just want to, use your software, and a lot of them don't want to give you any feedback because it's working. We don't call Wi-Fi company that, hey, your Wi-Fi is working. We only call it when it's not working. And most customers, when it comes to software, they don't even call when it's not working. They just switch to another platform. They just switch to another solution. But your boss won't do that. So keep your job. Build a product for the problem that you're solving. Get feedback. Improve the product now, so you can get hands-on feedback, because there's a personal interest, selfish interest of your boss in you building the software for him, right? Because he's not having to do the work. His business is being improved for free, and he's getting value from it. So obviously he's going to help you improve the product. He's going to help you get as much feedback as you want, and he's going to make sure that you have all the tools that you need. So he might even pay for your tech stack. So it's very important to get feedback, get that the first few finishing touches that your product needs. And then finally, if you do feel like your product is somewhat usable or scalable, add maybe extra features to it, add, and like Stripe integration, obviously, make a way for people to pay you. That then you're at a point where you can start selling it to outsiders, obviously with your boss's permission. You can even just be like, hey, this product's for you, but I'm going to create a whole nother thing, which in case you just copy the repository, add another database, and it's like take a week to just copy the whole thing and buy a domain, obviously, and just start selling it on your own. Okay, you work 8 hours a day, you can definitely spend 4 hours prospecting for your product. Now, there you go. You've got a real use case, you've got a real product, and you have the real customers. The valuation of your company is already not zero. It's already more than thousands of companies that I told you in build in public community that are already struggling because they have no users, they have no feedback, and they can't really do anything. So that's your framework. If you do want to get to the point where you have your own startup, do not quit your job yet. I'll see you in the next video.